Now it's time to hear about guided pathways. Guided pathways truly are becoming the pathway to success for students, starting, of course, in K through 12, and now here with the community college. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the world renowned Lorena Newsom, our Dean of Pathways and Professional Development. How are you, Lorena?
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me. I've been listening in. We've had some phenomenal presentations today, and so I'm just so honored to be here. Today, I'm going to be talking to students about Welcome Week and guided pathways, your pathway to success. And I want to give a little bit of background about guided pathways and the transition that we're making to guided pathways as a college. So, one of the first things that I wanted to add was that we heard students. We listened to you, we listened to your voice, we heard some of the challenges that you have from start to finish with entry, onboarding, progressing, completing, and truly coming to community college to complete your goal, which is to obtain, a 60-unit degree for those of you who are looking to transfer within a reasonable amount of time. And so we were considering our programs, our degrees, and our certificates, and we wanted to know, hey, for students that want to come to VBC part-time or full-time, how many years is it taking them to complete? And then how can we help students to complete within the time frame that they were anticipating when they signed up. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll go over guided pathways in just a moment and what it means. So what you can see here is you can see a student and you see an arrow right in front of the student. And so that arrow is to symbolize moving forward in progress. So for guided pathways, why guided pathways? So we listened to students and this is what students had to say. Many students find choosing a major to be challenging. Some students say that choosing courses and getting into the right ones can also be challenging. Students value support services when they can access them, but many are unaware of the wide range of support services available. Students would prefer to see the same counselor every time and would like to see counselors who specialize in their area of interest or their major. Also, students yearn for a sense of community and peer connection. They seek to experience cultural relevant curriculum and diversity in their educational experience. And so I wanted to just start with the students in mind because student success is the reason why we're here at VBC and VBC cares. And so we wanted to create pathways for students to answer some of those questions and concerns with regards to student scheduling. And I think with the Navigate presentation that you all heard earlier, Navigate and guided pathways are truly going to be tools that students can benefit from. So, what is the focus of guided pathways at Victor Valley College? And so, for students, what you need to know about guided pathways, you'll hear it all over, especially if you're a commuter student and you're attending multiple colleges. Many colleges in this region have a guided pathways framework and a model, and the purpose for guided pathways is going to be fourfold. The first is going to create clear pathways to employment and further education. So clarifying the path for students. And so we want your path to be clear and concise, and we want it to be truly reflective of what your goals are for attending Victor Valley College. The second tenet is going to be helping students choose and enter their pathway. So we're looking at student entry. When you enter VBC, how are you choosing and selecting your courses as well as your major? The third thing is going to be helping students stay on their path. And so in guided pathways, we want to build in a system of checks and balances. We want to make sure that you're getting little nudges along the way. We want to make sure that faculty are participating in early alert and that students know where they stand in our classes. The fourth tenet of guided pathways, or the fourth focus, is going to be ensuring teaching and learning. So you're here at VBC, we want to make sure that you get a quality education, and we also want to make sure that we are ensuring teaching and learning and ultimately student success. Okay, so This breaks down the guided pathways goals and focus areas into a couple of different areas. And so what can students expect when they're clarifying, when the path is being clarified for them, when they're entering the path at BBC, when they're progressing along the path, and also ensuring teaching and learning. So what you can expect as a student at BBC, you can expect career exploration. You can expect some type of orientation to a tool that will take you to an assessment that asks you different questions to assess your skill level. So it would be your soft skills, it would be your talents and abilities, it would be your strengths, and it would be based on your responses to specific questions. Also, we want to link you with a counselor to help you identify what your academic, career, and professional goals are going to be. So, what are your goals as a student here at BBC? And then what are your outcomes? Where are you hoping to go from your education here at Victor Valley College? We want to help you find your program. We want to customize a plan that fits your needs. And we also want to make sure that you have community-based support. And as a college, we want to make sure that we're tracking student success, which includes persistence and retention. And so we're successful if you're successful. And so your success is going to be very, very important to us. Okay, so guided pathways from start to finish. You know, you'll hear it a lot, especially if you're joining us in summer or fall, but what does it look like for me? If I was a student attending Victor Valley College, what would guided pathways look like for me? So this is what you can expect. You can expect as a student structured onboarding processes. And so this is going to give you information that you need to successfully move and transition from high school to Victor Valley College, as well as if you are returning to community college from the workforce and or industry. So structured onboarding processes, we want to make that clear and simplified for our incoming students. The next thing is going to be an academic map. What is this? It's going to be a roadmap to tell you exactly what courses that you need to take in the sequence in which you need to take them. And so what we're trying to do, we're trying to eliminate the ambiguity for students. We really would like for you to come in and have a clear perspective of what our expectations are and what you're going to need to do to minimize your time here at BBC. Of course, we love you. We would love for you to stay here forever, but we know that you have personal goals and we want to get you on your way to fulfilling those goals. Okay, what else can you expect? You can expect proactive academic and career advising. And so again, we want to make sure that you know how to create your resume, that you know how to do a job search, that you know what jobs are available within this region, that you know how to do a job search for jobs in other regions as well, and that you know how you're doing in your courses and the number of units that need to be completed for you to earn a degree or certificate here from the college. Early alert systems, just helping you progress along the path so you know exactly how you're doing. And we want to meet you with just in time resources or right on time resources. We want to make sure that if you need tutoring, if you could benefit from a faculty advisor or counseling appointment, that we offer that to you. And last but not least, instructional support and co-curricular activities. And so we're moving to a model where we'd like to embed some co-curricular activities in for students and hopefully by students. And so we are looking for peer mentors. We're looking for peer ambassadors. If you'd like to be involved at Victor Valley College, if you want to be involved in your school or your major and or your RAM path. So that's what we're calling our degrees and certificates. We've categorized those into 8 major pathways, which we are calling RAM paths, which I'll show you what that means in just a moment. Okay, so for guided pathways here at BBC, what do you need to know? Our guided pathways are going to consist of meta majors, which we are calling RAM paths. They're going to consist of program maps, which is going to be suggested course taking patterns for students, faculty advisor, and so we'll like to pair students with a faculty advisor of a similar background, career and or interest. And these 2 pieces are really critical for student success, and we'd like to get you involved in the college to career piece as well as the student care piece. And so just to break that down a little bit more, the student the student care piece provides students a platform to share their voice. So as we transition into a guided pathways model, the student voice is really going to be critical. We want to make sure at BBC we're creating an environment where students feel directed, connected, focused, engaged, nurtured, and valued. And so how else would we do that other than hearing from students, hearing what you need, sending out surveys, obtaining both qualitative and quantitative feedback from students, and then going from there. So our college to career, again, we're going to provide assessment tools. We're going to provide faculty advising, uh, guided pathways in the sense of structuring your courses in a sequential order, and last but not least, the meta majors. So our meta majors, so meta majors and or RAM paths are going to be a cluster of certificates and degrees that have common courses, common commonalities, common outcomes. And so, for STEM majors, there may be 4 or 5 common courses that all students need to take regardless of what their major is going to be. So our 8 RAM paths here at Victor Valley College are going to be arts, humanities, and design, business, office services and law, skilled trades, industry and transportation, health sciences, education, society and human services, personal and career exploration, public safety, and science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So those are going to be our RAM paths. So if you're a student and you are coming to BBC in the summer or fall, you're going to be transitioned into a RAM path based on the major or the degree or certificate that you select during the onboarding process. So the goal is for the RAM paths to reside in one of 4 schools. So as you may have heard already, and if you have not, Victor Valley College is now organized into 4 different schools. And so we have a school of STEM, we have a school of humanities, arts, and social sciences. We have a school of business, law, and academic resources, and a school of public safety and industrial technology. The cool thing about all of these schools is that each school has its own dean, and it's going to have a student success team designed to support the pathways within each school. So, for example, if you belong to the school of STEM, and you're not sure what you want to do, there's a built-in personal and career exploration pathway. And then there are 2 RAM paths, which are STEM or health science. And so we'll do a little bit of exploration, but you'll have your own peer mentors, you'll have your own counselors, you'll have your own Rambassadors, and you'll also have support from admissions and records and financial aid. So we're really looking forward to this structure. All students will belong to one of the 4 schools, as well as be represented in one of the pathways that you see here. Okay, so this is, again, just a breakdown of the 4 schools and the student success teams. And so they're going to be a team of folks that are dedicated specifically to you, the students, right? And so we're going to be looking at different touch points for the students. We're going to be looking at your experience from connection to entry to progress to completion. And so we want to make sure that when you are connecting to BBC, you're learning about our admissions and records, you're learning about our onboarding and outreach, and we link you with a Rambassador. We also want to link you to our VBC Experience program, which is a program for first-year students. We want to link you to our tutoring and academic support services, as well as to faculty advisors. Also, we want to make sure that we build a structure very similar to a small learning community. So you know where your resources are for your school. You know where to find students that have majors or career goals or interests that are similar to yours. You know where to find your specific counselors. And you know how to access our career center and our transfer services. And so again, the goal of guided pathways is to be as efficient as possible for students. And so we've embarked upon this journey to make your experience with Victor Valley College very, very efficient and succinct. Okay. Alrighty. So student success teams. What we have here, this is kind of an outline or a model of what your student success team will look like. So these are all the individuals that have been hired to support you, and that will be utilizing to support you based on, what you said what you've communicated that you needed as a student. And so we have Path counselors, we have peer mentors, we have ambassadors, we'll have faculty advisors and leads, and then we'll have the high school bridge counselors that we work with depending on which high school that you are coming to VBC from. Okay, and so I'm going to skip over these things really quickly. There were some case studies that I like to do that pretty much speak to the experiences of students, but I'm going to stop right there. And I want to let you all know that I'm very, very excited about the implementation of guided pathways. We have some really exciting things ready for students, and we are looking for student ambassadors. We are looking for students that don't mind advocating on behalf of other students, that don't mind providing feedback, that don't mind serving in a liaison capacity. So however you think you may fit into guided pathways or whatever questions you may have, you can find me. My name is Lorena. I'm the Dean of Pathways and Professional Learning, and I'm so excited about your success, and welcome to VBC.
Thank you so much, Dr. Newsom. That's wonderful. Yes, Pathways is definitely going to be that streamlining effect that we've been looking for here in the community college system. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Is one of the goals, I mean, I know this is kind of inadvertent, but a big portion of this is to save students money, right? With the amount of time that they're spending in college. Is there any kind of data around that yet as to what a student who participates in the pathway versus one who doesn't might be able to save in tuition, or are those not available yet?
So that's a great question. As far as the numbers and the quantitative data goes, I wouldn't want to misrepresent the numbers, but I will say this: the average completion time pre-guided pathways was about 6 years. So with guided pathways, the programs, the degrees and certificates that we offer here have been consolidated into 2-year program maps. And so all of the courses that you need taken full time and with the outcome or the expected outcome of completing in 2 years. So the goal of guided pathways is to show students that it can be done and to remove some of the ambiguity. And so if you just kind of think in your head, okay, 2 years paying for tuition, books, and fees versus 6 years paying for tuition, books, and fees, you can kind of see you save yourself, you shave off about 4 years of tuition. And so while I don't have the exact number, for me, it's a win-win. It shortens the time, and it also shortens the amount of expenses that I would have to pay out of pocket as a student.